It's the Luke and Pete Show. I'm Pete Donaldson, joined by Mr. Lukey Miller.
Hello.
Hello. You all right?
Not bad. What's going on? You okay?
What's going on? Yeah, how am I sort of spending my time? What have we spoken about recently? We spoke about my sadness at discovering an old school report.
We haven't talked about the fact that you're now 45 years old.
I am 45 years old now. Yeah, not in great fettle, to be honest. Wish I was a bit healthier.
Yeah, I feel the same actually. I've been thinking that recently.
I just, my lungs have just sort of given up, which I could do without, to be honest.
That's been happening. That's been in the pipeline for years, though, isn't it?
That has been in the pipeline for years, but I just don't know why I got to 44 and then my lungs just started going. You know what, Pete? You can just be one of those guys who can't breathe.
It's bad, isn't it? Because you need the lungs, definitely. It's not like one of the organs
definitely
you don't
the
need.
lungs. No. Could I just have one good lung and just sort of
Not
do
the
it like that way?
appendix. Or the,
could they rubber band one off and that could atrophy?
Sounds like they already have.
I could just have one, and I just have one good lung that just straightens up and flies right.
You should do, you should do like an X Factor competition between your lungs.
Yeah, well, who's gonna treat Daddy right?
And the best one gets to stay.
Gets to stay.
And the second one gets stuck on the mantelpiece as bellows for the fireplace.
Yeah, there's a shop around the corner that's got this stone lung. They've basically, I don't know how they made it, but it's basically a stone lung, and they've put that in a little frame, and they're selling that for like 90 quid. It's like, who's buying a stone lung? Me, because it's more
to go with the
more
other
like a functioning lung than my other lung. Yeah,
I like the idea that I can contextually hear you tell me a story about a shop round the corner selling a stone lung. It sounds quite James Joyce.
And not ask more questions.
Very, very James Joyce, that is.
Yeah, very figurative. Yeah.
Well, listen. Last time on Monday we talked about performative art.
Yes,
and,
the old French latex nose boys.
Are they French? I thought they're Canadian.
Oh, I thought they're French. Maybe they're French Canadian.
Probably are. They probably are.
Maybe they're French Canadian.
And it's almost equivalent to the old getting the old book under your wing, walking around London, isn't it?
Yeah, nice. Yeah. You don't mind a bit. You didn't used to mind a bit of that.
I'm a Kindle guy now.
You're a Kindle guy, man. Now
yeah.
I see.
I'm a Kindle.
Do you write on the back with chalk what you're reading?
Yeah, I write Penguin Classic on chalk on the back of it. Yeah.
I always think, right.
And you know what? And just before you carry on, and then on the Kindle itself, I've just got a load of porno playing cards. I'm just looking at those.
Those the Saddam ones that they released when they're trying to catch Saddam. When you see, there's a Reddit or a fucking Twitter or something, an account basically that has hot guys reading books. Basically women.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it. Yeah.
Mainly women surreptitiously taking pictures of men.
Oh, I wish I was
hot
in
guys.
There. I've never been
hot
in
guys.
there.
Hot guys reading books on the tube, and it's like, and it's interesting because a lot, like almost 99% of them are all reading like Penguin classics, and I'm like, come on.
I mean, it's funny because I know the account well. I remember the wife I have access to used to. I don't know if she still does, but she certainly used to follow it. So she would show me because she thought it was funny as well. Yeah. And I am partly coming from a position of being jealous because I've not been featured on it, and I'd like to be. Yeah. And it's not going to happen, which is fine. I have to make my peace with that. But I would also say this: every single bloke on it, I'm speaking here as a man, looks like the worst roommate of all time. You know exactly what kind of bloke it is.
Yeah, they're all reading Penguin classics, and I'm like,
of course they are.
I don't feel like you're an avid reader if you're reading something old.
Well, they just let yourself down there now. But the point,
but you know what I mean, like that kind of. I just always think with Penguin classics, if you've not read it, you surely must have read what. If you're interested in it, why haven't you read it before? And why are you reading it on my tube?
You're coming off super bitter now.
While I'm trying to eat a cream egg. While I'm surreptitiously furtively tonguing a cream egg.
He may be reading Wuthering Heights, but I'm sitting next to him, playing drum and bass on my speakerphone. Who you going with, girl?
I'm playing Monkey Island on my flip out phone.
I'm eating a tuna sandwich. I'm playing Candy Crush, boy, with the sound on.
I'm doing my Japanese Duolingo.
I'm typing a text on loud.
Donaldson
click.
That's another thing as well. People have massive fucking typefaces on their phones these days.
Jim Campbell does.
Jim Campbell, right? Has he got? Yeah. But he wears glasses, so he's got no excuse. Why do people have such
take it up with him?
Writing?
Yeah, take it up with him.
That's interesting, isn't
but
it?
On those dudes reading the books, also every single one of them is exactly the guy who, when you were saying your mid-20s, there'd be guys who girls would all really like, and every other bloke would be like, this guy, get a load of this guy. This guy in his mid-20s is actually trying to have like performative, meaningful conversations with girls while we're all standing around getting pissed. What is his problem? But all the girls would love it. They'd love it.
Yeah, because he's normal.
Yeah, because he's actually taking an interest.
He's actually taking an interest. Yeah.
But he's doing it for his own selfish reasons, of course.
That's what you're saying. No, yeah, it's just they look like they are. It's like every one of them looks fuckboy coded.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. You're saying it much more easy way. Yeah,
every one of them reminds me of that lad I don't like on Instagram about the fucking stuffed teddy who did do the marathon a few weeks ago. He did do the marathon, Lou.
Did he complete it?
He did. I can only presume he's in his 20s. Of course, he fucking.
I saw Hardest Geezer got a load of stick. Have you seen that?
Which one's Hardest Geezer now?
The guy who ran the length of Africa, Ginger Beard.
Oh yeah. Did he get? Weren't there rumours that he was taking chunks out of? I think he was doing like a promotional run for something, and they were sort of saying he can't. He sort of sped up by like 30 miles an hour at this juncture on one of the ones.
He was getting a lot of stick because he got a load of endorsements because he is the guy he is. And I mean, he did run. I mean, as far as I know, there was nothing erroneous going on
about the African one.
He basically did it.
No. Yeah.
But he got endorsement and he got this. He's basically like a sponsored athlete now, and he was doing a London Marathon, and I think he was given it the big one about how he was going to do it in this certain time. Yeah. And he did it about half an hour behind the time he said he was going to do it, and people were giving him shit. Fine. Look, basically, he still did it on the marathon like 2 hours 45, which is amazing. But he then allegedly made up all these reasons why he was slow, or slower than he said he was going to be, including the fact that he said he had like a stomach cramp at 10k and he had to go. It took him 10 minutes to have a shit or something, and then someone just grabbed his splits off the London Marathon website. And was like, that's not what happened, because that would come up on the thing, and it didn't. You were just slower. So he's getting low. Basically, he did something really impressive, but he said he would do something even more impressive, then did it, and then made an excuse.
But his thing wasn't like being the fastest marathon guy. It was just being an ultra marathon.
Yeah, but I think he keeps giving
running
it the big licks about how he wants to become a Team GB ultra marathon runner.
Right,
that's his
that's a different level on it. It's a different level on it. It's like you can't. That's a genetic thing, though.
Yeah, if you've run the length of Africa, just have a fucking day off.
Yeah, have a day off.
No, apparently hardly anyone's done that before.
Lenovo endorsement or whatever you've got.
Yeah, he got a lot. He got a lot of stick because he claimed to be the first and only person to run the length of Africa, and loads of people said no. Other people have done it, kind of thing. I don't know if they have or not, but that's what.
Yeah.
I think he seems alright. He just gets a lot of stick online. I don't know if it's just haters.
Yeah. It's just I guess if you're not running a marathon, I guess you're kind of got a lot of free time, innit? That's why you get in trouble, because you spend too much time online. Is anyone talking about Hardest Geezer?
I just feel like the internet is a weird place when you've literally run the length of Africa and done a sub 3 hour marathon, and people still hate you.
You'd think that would be above. You'd think that you'd be above it at all. It's like,
he probably is. I just noticed
something,
it.
Did it? Yeah. The speaking of high achieving athletes, I spent a lot of last night watching Dong Fangzhou goal compilations.
Yeah, you shared a bit of that. I'm not sure why.
Do you remember that Chinese guy who played for Man United? And everyone said that he was basically, like they usually fucking level at Asian footballers. Oh, he's just there to feather a Asian market sort of nest.
Yeah, but in this case, I mean, he hardly had a career, did he?
Yeah, well, honestly, I think Sir Alex Ferguson said that. Reading around it, Sir Alex Ferguson said that he's really powerful, he's really strong, and he thinks he can cut it in the Premier League. And there are thousands of footballers who, Alex Ferguson's fancied, didn't manage to make the grade, and they've moved on for whatever reason. Yeah, but I think Dong Fangzhou is like, I think he could have done something.
Yeah, but you're not. Respectfully, you're not a sponsor of top level football talent, Pete.
I think I am, though. I think I am.
Okay, who else is on your radar?
Little known fella, long face, thick as mince, Harold Kane. Harold Kane.
You're predicting great things for him, are you?
Yeah.
His name's not actually Harold, it's Harry. It's just Harry, I think.
Is it Harry? That's not right. I don't think you should be allowed silly. Harry is a shortening of Harold, and so you should.
It's like our colleague Charlie. He's not Charles, is he?
Well, and he was at an awards do yesterday he wasn't wearing a shirt. He's wearing a jacket and no shirt.
I thought that was look, listen, we both know that Charles/Charlie is not here to defend himself. In fact, he's in Australia.
He's in
Australia with the award-winning aforementioned P1 podcast. Right. So he ain't got time for us. But I thought that outfit was astonishing. I have to say,
that's a good place. That's a good place for you to wear no shirt.
Exactly.
Because you're in Australia's hot.
I thought that was an extraordinary choice of outfit. I have to say that. I've told him.
No, I've. So
for those that haven't seen it was like a suit with nothing underneath it.
Yeah, but I also think. I also think he looks excellent. But isn't it interesting that? Isn't it interesting that fashion? You know, you can see David Beckham wear that. You can see producer Charlie wear that. But if I tried that any year in my life, I would be quite rightly criticised. I think it's too ambitious.
And that's
for
you
me,
saying
immortal. It's too ambitious for me. It's not too ambitious for producer Charlie. Head of studio Charlie. It's not too ambitious for him. But I do think there's a lot of fashion that's locked away behind a wall, a glass ceiling, if you will. A glass wall, if you can't. A fragile glass wall.
And you think, I don't feel brave enough to choose that item.
No, but I don't feel together enough. I feel brave enough to walk around with the jacket without a top on, but I think it's half of it is selling it, isn't it? It's having that confidence.
You can't let it wear you, can you?
Exactly. Yeah, it becomes too much of a conversation, and you can't just be walking around with a prepared statement about what you're wearing. You've just got to, white knuckle it and just go.
It's quite an oblique way of bringing into the chat that we won another SJA, isn't it?
Yeah. What is SJA?
Sports Journalism Awards.
What was there a sort of Gamergate SJA? Can't remember. Anyway, an SJA. Lovely stuff.
Second,
cracking.
2 in a row now. Podcast of the year.
There we go. They'll have to retire. It's
no
like
problem.
No
big deal. What are you worried about next?
WrestleMe has won the UKFF, the UK Fan Forum, the world's biggest wrestling forum award 5 years in a row.
Bloody hell! Don't hide that like under a bushel.
Have a bit of that. Hide that under a bushel.
Share it.
And they tried to change the constraints of the thing, so we didn't win it again.
Oh, they're fucking wankers.
We won it again, and also the WWE started. They did something called the Vault, and they just started putting out old kind of like lost to time little videos on YouTube, and everyone was loving it because it's like, oh fucking hell, it's Legion of Doom's dark match that was never broadcast. It's like only the stuff that only WWE can do because they're the only people who have warehouses full of old footage. They went toe to toe with us, and we beat them last year as well.
That is lovely stuff.
Hey AEW, we beat them this year.
You and Haynes,
we just absolutely doing it, absolutely doing bits,
tearing it up. But seriously, though, the SJA is the big one.
Yeah, okay, fine. Absolutely.
I mean, it's remarkable that you look at the people we're up against. Plucky little stack. It's the BBC. It's the Athletic. It's the Guardian. It's all these people.
Are the Athletic still doing stuff? All the podcasts that I listen to from the Athletic.
Yeah, but it's not just podcasts. It's just journalism generally.
Right.
They do still have some podcasts.
Yeah. Okay.
They've got the Spurs one, which the great Danny Kelly is currently taking time off for because he's been unwell.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we out of all the people we spoke, it's weird, isn't it? Like we were speaking about Danny Kelly on the Football Ramble, and Marcus told that story about him doing, it's just the most hilarious bit of radio where he said he'd called
Rafa Benitez.
He called Rafa Benitez a nonce. I know, out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and it was just because he just completely had a different idea about what nonce meant.
Yeah,
and the way that it was kind of, and I'll do it again. I have to say, for the record, and it gives me no pleasure to say, that Rafa Benitez is a nonce.
Yeah.
An amazing thing to say. Obviously not.
It cut to ad as well. He pointed for the ad guy. He pointed to the producer to kill it on that point. as well.
And so everybody in the room and everybody in the world knew what nonce meant. Danny Kelly didn't, inexplicably. A very well-cultured, thoughtful man. It's just one of those kind of blind spots that you kind of, you sometimes encounter. But to use it so ruthlessly, to use it so kind of, sort of like give it a real fucking like.
Yeah, but that's his broadcasting style. Like,
brilliant.
Yeah, he's very definitive.
But the day we never talked about Danny Kelly. And the day that we talked about him, it was announced that he had he was dealing with a bit of cancer. So it's weird. Every time the Ramble sort of says something about somebody, they always
is it like an Aaron Ramsey curse?
It's the Aaron Ramsey curse.
I've always got Danny front of mind. He's such a legend.
I was actually
on a Zoom call with Danny when my wife went into labour.
Yeah, okay.
And it was such a kind of Danny, I've got to go. And he was like, what's happened? And I told him, and he was like, oh, brilliant. And it's like he's the kind of guy where these things just happen to him. Like he told me an amazing story.
You're not a nonce. No, you're not a nonce then, Luke.
He's a brilliant broadcaster, Danny, and he's a brilliant storyteller, and he's one of the best broadcasters I've ever worked with. I've said that millions of times. If anyone's ever listened, I've said it loads of times. I rate him so much. He's brilliant. And he told me an amazing story once. So did you know that he was a very early investor in Football 365?
That's right, yes. Okay, yeah.
And
big supporters of the Ramble back in the day.
Yeah, they were. And that was sold to Sky, right? I think it was sold to News Corp, one of Murdoch's operations anyway. And the story Danny told me was that when they were going to go and do the presentation, because they thought that Murdoch's operation, whichever one it was, wanted to buy them, it was like the money men were going to go have the meeting. And then last minute, one of them called up Danny, who was the editorial kind of guy, and said, oh, we've had a slight change of heart. I think we really need you to come to the meeting to sell it into all the suits, right? We need someone from the editorial side to just really sell the vision. And Danny was like, well, I haven't done anything to prepare. And this is at the very start of when the internet, the .com bubble, right? It's the very start of when the internet was taking off. So people weren't really that well versed in the internet. And they weren't quite sold on it, right? It was very early on. And he said, well, I haven't done anything to prepare. I don't know what I'm going to say or whatever. And they're like, oh, yeah, but you're Danny Kelly. You'll just work it out, right? And Danny Kelly claims, I don't know if this is true, but he claims he walks into this boardroom when he's introduced and he's got a ream of paper in one hand, as in like plain paper, and an old-fashioned bottle of ink in the other hand.
Right, yeah.
And he walks in, he screws up like 2 or 3 pieces of paper, shoves them in his mouth, stands there staring at them, chewing it, swallows it, downs the whole bottle of ink and just says, print is dead, and walks out again.
I don't think you need that in your life, to be honest.
I don't know. I can't remember if he said turned this shit's black or not, but he said it wasn't ideal, but he said it was the only idea he had.
So maybe there's more stuff kicking around, like these little stories.
Oh, it's quality. He's a great storyteller. I remember working with him once on TalkSport when a guest pulled out in like the ad break, and each TalkSport hour was separated into, I think, like 13-minute sections.
Right. Okay,
so you had like a 13-minute section between like ad break or news or whatever. And this guy who came on, it was when Free Solo won the Oscar for... Remember that Free Solo rock climbing thing?
The climbing one, yeah.
And there was a guy who was on the line from America who was going to talk to us about it, and he dropped off, and we couldn't get hold of him. And Danny was like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll just do it. And Danny, he did like 13 minutes impromptu just about rock climbing. And I was just sitting there like nodding along, saying nothing. I hadn't even seen the film at that point. Honestly, he's a different class. A different class of broadcaster. So good.
Incredible.
I rate him so highly. I wish him well. I've reached out to him since he's been unwell. Hopefully he'll be okay and he'll bounce back. Should we do a couple of emails?
Let's do it.
Do you want this one from Ben? Let's do this one from Ben.
Yeah, okay.
He says, hi guys. Listen to a recent episode where Luke commented on the disparity between presence of drones in prison versus our regular civilian lives. Do you remember that, Pete?
Yes. Nice.
I said that like drones are dropping drugs into prisons, and I basically heard that on Roy Stewart's podcast. He was talking about that because he was prisons minister, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And I said, but we don't really see drones knocking about here, even though they're on the front line in Ukraine, in Iran, and all the rest of it. But Ben says, in an increasingly more frequent occurrence since Brexit, Ireland must seemingly be quite ahead of the United Kingdom in this regard, because McDonald's in Blanchardstown, a large suburban area on the outskirts of Dublin, does drone delivery regularly.
What?
And they deliver your food within 5 minutes. They're expanding rapidly across the country and becoming common occurrence both orally and visually as you walk around the areas they deliver. The company is called Manna, Manna.
Yeah.
They've just raised $50 million worth of Series B funding, apparently.
And they look, and it looks like they sort of drop the thing
crazy.
on the floor.
Is that true?
But then it's like tethered by like a wire. Do you sort of undo that wire and then it sort of goes on its merry way? Because you know what my time management is like. I'll be like in the shower or something, and it'll just be running out of battery.
I'm into this. Is it real though?
I guess so. I mean, yeah, it looks like it's an acceptable form of. I can't speak to it. Presumably, listener Ben is someone who's across it, but it looks like
there must be regulations in London, though. No.
Yeah, I imagine there's probably not. Yeah, it's probably more rural sort of areas, probably more helpful. But yeah, that'd be really, really helpful. There's a man who's delivering me some KFC, and he was very upset because I didn't come to the door quick enough. So yeah, I did my best. I do my best.
I'm always waiting for them. I'm always very super conscious that they're going to be up against it. I told you, I sometimes see a bunch of lads on mopeds hanging around outside the Sainsbury's near where I live, and I think on a Friday night it looks like a great crack.
Yeah, well, you used to see that with people who used to deliver like packages and letters and stuff around Soho.
Yeah,
they'd all be cycle boys.
Yeah,
and they'd all be like just sort of sitting around, like having a chat, having a can or something on a Friday afternoon. It looked like a proper good laugh.
Yeah, but Ben says
like French or something. Whoa,
to Pete's point, they are quite loud and intrusive, and there have been large numbers of complaints about both the noise and privacy concerns. Yeah. The Irish Times has run a story on it. Love the show. Hope this is slightly more interesting than my previous email on EU battery legislation. Kind regards, Ben. I can't remember that, Ben, but I'm sure it wasn't too bad. I am honestly astonished that is happening. I had no idea. I also perhaps quite cynically thought that all this talk about robot delivery of stuff was just like a PR opportunity for Amazon or something like that. They were never actually going to do it.
Yeah. Well, the Ben was talking about EU battery legislation. I got my dad on an EU nice to have. He staunch.
Why can't you just have a normal relationship with your dad?
And
why has everything got to be point scoring?
And we were talking about you're exactly the same as me. And you know it, and so is everybody else. He was going, why can't? I was looking for an iPad charger. He's like, why can't they all just be the same charger? I said, well, good. Finally, the EU has made it so that everybody in Europe has to have the same USB-C charger.
That's
the
true.
old iPhones, they have to be USB-C powered. Ha ha!
Yeah,
have a bit of that, Daddy-o. And then he went on about some side issue that he set about.
Stop the boats.
Stop the boats.
They also make sure you can't charge too much for mobile phone roaming as well, don't they?
Yes, nice, yeah. Because we all thought that was going to be. But I guess if we're not part of the EU, so we.
No, but I think the companies have just kept up with it off their own position. Yeah, I think they've done that. Yeah, but I think that's an interesting. I would love to be the bloke in McDonald's who flies the drone to your house. But
you just type in a address though, don't you? It's not like you fly.
It's doing it automatically.
It's got to be.
Get out of town.
It's got to be.
Really?
Maybe not actually. Maybe somebody does have to drone.
So we're living in a world now where potentially I order a McDonald's. Say I live in that suburb of Dublin. I order a McDonald's. Yeah. A bloke. The food is prepared, put in a bag. The bloke types in my address, and a robot drone plane flies it to my house and drops it in my front garden.
Yeah, you're probably right. It probably does. It probably is flown by somebody. That would probably be the rule, wouldn't it? To sort because around like Las Vegas, you've got like the driverless taxis, and they do go a fair whack. Like, they do go really.
I've seen
a
couple of those in London recently.
Yeah, they absolutely fly around.
These ones are with drivers, though, I guess, for safety reasons. They're just doing tests or something. But I can't see. Yes. I cannot see how you're going to get driverless taxis in London. The roads are so tricky.
And jaywalking, we haven't had it drilled into us that jaywalking is a crime over here. You know, like in America, people sort of go, "Oh, you shouldn't do that."
But the roads are massive as well. The big difference to American and British driving that would be relevant to this topic is that so near where I live, it's all single file because people park on both sides. How is the driver's taxi going to know that when it goes up to halfway up a road, it's got to pull in to let someone else through?
Well, I mean, presumably that's all coded in, isn't it?
And if you go up against each other, one of you has to reverse. How does the driverless taxi know they're going to have to reverse?
Maybe it's got like a cock function. And they're just constantly cocking. They're constantly sort of making the decision.
We certainly hope
making
so.
the decision to be the weaker. Yeah, but that's what I mean. How do you give a driverless car the eyes? Do you know what I mean? Like, because you give drivers the eyes, and the I hate it when people sort of go, want you to do something, so they start wafting their hand around. So you go over here. I'm like, fuck you. You fucking move.
You're not the boss of me.
You're not the boss of me. I'll mess up my driving myself. Thank you very much.
What about this email as well? Is this final email for now then from our friend Sandy. Hello to you, Sandy. Hi to Luke and Pete. I was at the London Marathon Expo a few weeks ago supporting my wife as we picked up her bib number, and it might be worth checking the whereabouts of your friend and mine, Mr. Diggory Donaldson, as it seems he's been spotted in the wild by yours truly. Maybe I would have seen him running. I don't think so. Anyway, long story short, it's another Pete Donaldson lookalike. It's not an audio feature, but I would like you to assess it, Peter, by looking at it. I think it's pretty good. I'd give that a 7 out of 10.
It's not a bad one. It's kind of, he's got a mullet, which he's gone for all of the problems at the same time, hasn't he? It's a real smorgasbord of
he's dressed he's much more straight laced than you. He's
got, I think, a DJI Osmo. Speaking of drone technology, he's got a little camera in his hand, I think. So he might be furtively taking pictures of girls' bombs. So again, fits. He's basically got glasses like me. He's got a moustache, which I have had in the past. He's got a bit of a dirty Dominic Mysterio mullet, and look. It's a strong 7 out of 10. I can't deny it. It's a good one.
I agree. What I would say, though, is, Sandy, that we don't endorse you taking pictures of random people in the public and sharing it broadly. It's poor form. If they've chosen to put themselves out there in the public arena, like that bloke who does the YouTube cooking, fine, fair game.
Luke. We wouldn't have any Diggory doppelgangers if you.
I just like people to get permission.
That rule. What? Oh, can I? There's a. There's a man that
why not?
There's a man on a podcast I know that looks a bit like you.
It looks like everyone that's ever lived.
Yeah, but he probably gets that as well because he probably looks like everyone who's ever lived. And it's never complimentary. It's not complimentary here.
Like when we did the Ramble Live show,
he wouldn't be complimented.
One of them was just a guy who was found in bed with a corpse. It was a mugshot.
In bed with a corpse. Yeah,
he didn't really look like you as well.
I sometimes have a dream that I've killed someone and I've buried it in. It's probably my love of cement this day around about now. I have sort of dreams where I've killed someone and they're underneath my kitchen and I'm thinking about moving out and knowing full well there's a body under there. Again, it goes back to the thing we were talking about a little while. That's mad, isn't it?
Troubling.
That's proper mad. And then I wake up and I go, I'm so glad I've not killed anyone. It's like watching this. When you watch those documentaries about where someone's just, killed someone or killed their family or something, and the police are basically in their house and they're going, how you doing? And he's going, yeah, all right. And he's going, he's in so much trouble. I'm so glad I haven't killed anyone.
Did you ever see that doc about, it might be the Louis Theroux one, where the guy who was so paranoid about committing crimes used to handcuff himself to his own bed at night because he was worried about sleepwalking himself into a crime.
I see. Well, that's easily done. I mean, it's no more difficult to do than a sleep apnea machine. What one might suggest.
I just think, I don't really see it. You've got to play the numbers game in these kind of things. I just don't think it's that likely.
Yeah, I guess.
Although I had a dream last night that someone was trying to break into the house, and I woke up and I said to my wife, "Did you hear that?" And she was like, "What?" And I was like, nothing. And just went to sleep.
Yeah, wild. I was me and Sarah both reckon that the other person snores, which we clearly do. I don't think I snore. Sarah doesn't think she snores, and and she definitely does, and I clearly do. And we were having like a little like for my birthday, we're having like a head massage, like a Japanese head massage that Sarah booked, and I fell asleep a couple of times.
Nice.
That was that was absolutely lovely.
Is that a faux pas in the situation, or?
I don't know. Is it disrespectful to fall asleep during
it's a ringing
massage?
endorsement, probably, if anything.
Yeah, exactly. You're so relaxed.
Yeah,
I don't know. They did say that like 99% of blokes who go in for a head massage do fall asleep. So they had this little sort of.
Is it like an elaborate ruse to rifle through your wallet or something?
Probably. They had like a tool because I had my eyes closed. They had this tool that felt like a sort of. Like two toothbrushes kind of like together in your hair, in your head.
Right.
And I really wanted to open my eyes to see what this tool was, but I didn't get to see it in the end.
Yeah, because you've got a desperate need to know about tech, but at the same time you're also unfailingly polite.
Yeah. What if I didn't like the look of it? What if they didn't like the look of me looking at it?
Yeah,
I don't
you're
know.
probably better off staying asleep.
You're right.
You're
right.
Well,
stay asleep.
Face on the wall behind the counter now.
Nothing bad.
Yeah. All right.
woke up with morning glory and then.
Oh, come on now, let's go. We're going if you're going to do that.
To know what the tool was they used that made it happen. Right, we'll be back next time. Look after yourselves.
Speaking of that, right? Did you hear about that geezer who posted on Twitter on one of those confessions tweets that he went to a prostate examination,
right?
Because he was worried about a enlarged prostate. Yeah. And this guy, doctor, I guess, or nurse, shoved 2 like lubricated fingers up his bum. Yeah. And at which point he instantly ejaculated and then passed out.
Passing out is
apparently knocked a load of stuff off the counter and everything.
Oh my god! Well, they should warn you, I suppose,
Amazing.
because I think it's one of those. I think prostate milking, I believe they call it.
Yeah.
Which is a foul term to use.
Yeah.
It is involuntary, apparently.
I bet. I'm sure.
Why have we never tried to have a go?
Tune in next week.
Get snackable content, usable news. We'll be on the Luke and Pete show. Finger each other's or just ourselves?
Yeah, hero quest on the go.
Hero quest on the go.
All right, see you later.
Bye bye.